request Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, and Group Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, to felicitate our guest of honor and keynote addressee, Professor Srikant M. Datar from the Harvard Business School. Amity University is proud to confer upon Professor Srikant M. Datar Amity Gold Medal for fostering academic leadership and excellence at the Harvard Business School. May I request Group Vice Chancellor, sir, to please introduce Dean HBS to the August gathering and give a brief introduction as well. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Marun. And our youngest alumni, Professor Hamilton, our respected founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan, Professor Srikant Datar. It's such a privilege to welcome you. I can see many of our very distinguished friends who are here in our 22nd international conference INBUSH, which on all the scales is the largest and the biggest research conference of Asia. I, from the bottom of my heart, extend thanks to each one of you. It's such an honor to present Professor Datar to the very august audience which is today present in this conference. He was awarded the Padma Shri Award from the Government of India. It is with utmost respect that Amity University conference on Professor Srikant Datar Amity Gold Medal for fostering academic leadership. All of us would like to listen from you, Professor Datar, your thoughts.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gurinder Singh, for those very, very kind and generous words. I am deeply humbled and honored to receive the Amity Gold Medal for fostering academic leadership and excellence. And it's just a true privilege to be here. Founder President RBEF, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, President RBEF and Chancellor Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Atul Chauhan, Additional President RBEF and Chancellor Amity University, Rajasthan, Dr. Asim Chauhan, Group Vice Chancellor Amity University, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, Professor Marut Bisht, faculty, staff, students and alumni of Amity University and distinguished guests. I have followed and know the amazing work of Amity University over many, many years. So it is, as I said earlier, truly a privilege to have the opportunity to say a few words on this occasion. It is particularly joyful to receive this award as you celebrate the International Business and Research Conference INBUSH Era World Summit on the theme of nurturing people, purpose, partnerships, planet and performances for creating sustainable world-class organizations. Let me say a couple of words on the theme of the conference because I believe it applies to both US and India, and a few words on the post-pandemic world order, US-India ties and the challenges and opportunities. Soon after I was appointed Dean of Harvard Business School in October 2020, I spoke individually and in small groups to faculty, staff, students and alumni to understand key issues that business should focus on over the next decade. There were two major insights. First, the need to develop leaders adept at navigating the most important challenges and opportunities business and society face today. And second, to develop leaders who are facile in leading organizations where digital and technological transformations, data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence are disrupting industries and business and operating models. So this led us to consider setting up two new institutes to allow Harvard Business School and its faculty to engage with companies and managers all over the world, with alumni and with other parts of Harvard in new ways to generate research with impact. Let me spend a couple of minutes describing this work because it has, I think, a lot of implications for what happens in both the US and in India. The first institute is what we call this Institute for the Study of Business in Global Society, or BIGS. We are of the strong belief that business is a force for good in the world, having lifted billions of people out of poverty, created fulfilling jobs through innovation and entrepreneurship, and increased our standards of living and health. We envision several strands of work, but let me give you 3 examples which relate to the themes of this conference and to the environment we will face in both the US and in India. The first is what is called the 110 Initiative. The goal of the 110 Initiative is to place 1 million Black and underrepresented minority individuals who do not have a college degree in living wage jobs in corporate America over 10 years. The simple thesis of the initiative is that talent in the world is more uniformly distributed than opportunity, and that individuals have the talent, skills, and motivation to succeed in jobs even though they did not have the opportunity to get credentials. If this thesis is correct, companies will be able to access larger pools of talent. This will be a win for business and a win for society. A second example is developing new measurement and reporting systems called impact-weighted accounting to evaluate a company's environmental, social, and governance impacts. Some of the research done at the school provides evidence that such purpose-driven companies create greater value over the long term. Third, research on ways to develop strategies for sustainability. Here I will borrow from ideas that Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, shared with us a few weeks ago. Corporate leaders are charged with developing strategies that sustain their performance over time. But to do so, companies must strive to do 4 things. First, support inclusive opportunities, such as by helping people learn digital skills and by strengthening communities. Second, protect fundamental rights, such as racial equity, democratic institutions, and human rights. Third, commit to a sustainable future with goals to be negative carbon, water positive, and zero waste. And fourth, and very importantly, earn the trust of society by protecting privacy and ensuring security. We are working to develop curricula to help students navigate the challenges of these over-constrained problems. All 3 of these initiatives are applicable to India. India needs to think about how to access and develop its tremendous human resources, particularly in socio-economically disadvantaged communities. It needs to think about the environment, since climate change is likely to affect India more severely than other countries. And its companies need to develop sustainable strategies. I hope the Institute for the Study of Business in Global Society will further engender closer ties between the US and India, and between US universities and Indian universities. The second institute we are setting up is the Institute for Digital, Data Science, and Design and Innovation, that we are calling DCube. This institute will include faculty labs across areas such as digital marketing, health tech, privacy ethics and bias, and fintech to provide more leverage for faculty research. Again, it will also connect to outside networks of experts and companies all over the world and develop partnerships with other schools and universities. I believe the forces of technological progress and higher productivity as represented by DQ must go hand in hand with business and society and the distribution of wealth as represented by the work of BIGS. This is true in the US and in India. In the context of Mahatma Gandhi's 7 deadly sins, we cannot progress science without humanity or advance knowledge without character. I have often described COVID as the passageway to our future. COVID has accelerated many trends such as digital transformation and the future of work that would probably have taken a decade or more. This will create tremendous opportunities but also challenges. Imagine digital technologies accelerating the opportunities for Indian companies to support healthcare, legal, architectural, accounting, information technology, telecommunications, and education services in the US and other parts of the world. Of course, these opportunities will have to be counterbalanced against the current environment of nationalism, concerns about income inequality, and a weakening middle class. Ray Dalio's excellent book on the changing world order describes some other concerns. Studying the history of the world over 500 years, Dalio presents 3 big cycles that might help predict the future direction of different countries. 1, the long-term debt and capital market cycle. 2, the internal order and disorder cycle. And 3, the external order and disorder cycle. The cycles are characterized by a period often extending over hundreds of years, when a country rises, reaches a top, and then declines before the cycle starts again. Based on several indicators, Dalio believes the US is the strongest world power based on its large capital markets, strong technology, innovation, and education, and its reserve currency status, but in gradual decline because of its high debt burden, income inequality, and internal conflict. Dalio classifies India as a modest power and ascending based on its strong economic and financial position and cost-competitive labor, but challenged by its relatively weak position in education, innovation and technology, and its wealth, income, and value gaps. To overcome its weaknesses and to capitalize on post-COVID opportunities, India will have to invest in education and skill building. Its best opportunity lies in closing the digital divide and using technology to train its workforce. As President Abdul Kalam once said, unemployability is worse than unemployment, and quality education is the best way to cure this ill. I am truly grateful that universities like Amity University are embracing the challenge of filling this most critical of needs for the future. India needs the commitment, determination, passion and drive of your faculty, staff, students, and alumni. It has been a true privilege to be with you today. I am humbled to be in the presence of so many distinguished colleagues, many of whom I've known well from my earlier interactions with them. Thank you again for this high honor. Thank you again very, very much.
Mr. Datar, exceptional insight, and thank you so much for your kind words. We are very, very grateful, Professor Datar. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Indeed, you represent an institution with a remarkable legacy of impact in research, education, and practice. We thank you for sharing your leadership experience, your intimate knowledge of the deep devotion to the institution. We understand, Honorable Group Vice Chancellor, sir, that Professor Datar has to leave as he has a couple of commitments. So we request you to, sir, please bless us some other day as well. Thank you very much for joining us. We are truly humbled.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Datar. We are honored.